So the tab key allows me to hide all the windows, but just to get you the idea, this is the window that has the graphic on it, so I'm just going to hide that. Here's the section that has the logo scan. So again, I'm going to rotate this, and I'm going to give a ruler guide just to show it down on the corner of where the Zacks logo is with the P. I might even put a cross line just to show it to you. And there's the section, so I can click on the rotation tool and click on there. And outside of this image should allow me to rotate this. I have the wrong piece selected. Make sure I have that part. But I can, when I select this image, it'll allow me to rotate this. So here it is rotating it from that section. But when I click the rotation tool and click on this point and come outside here, let's see if I can move this up a little bit. It allows me to rotate it from that particular intersection, and the shift key's held down. So now I have his logo kind of horizontal instead of working on it vertically. So I'm just going to shift key it over a little bit. And again, this also has a couple of options to take a look at. And it's trying to, again, as the designer, you look at it and say, well, what's going to be the best way to actually put this together? Well, one way is to start to use the type. So I'm going to get a new layer and just double click up here and give a title for it, put Zack right there. And I'm going to take the text tool, reset this, and just type in there. It gives me the Latin form, so capitalize ZP, and that's the text of the font. So I grab it and with the shift key and bring it pretty large on this screen. And now I'm going to try to use, I could try to outline it, but first I just want to give it an option for using the type. So under Window, under Type, I can go to Character. I also have the window up here, Control, so when I click on there you can see that this window at the top of the image is going to give me the items that I need as well. So Myriad Pro, I just click in here to take a look, and I'll go to Arial Black as a bold font. Okay, so I'm going to take a look at that and see, well, maybe I could use the lettering that's already available to help me put this logo together. So here I have this. I can grab the corner of the text. We haven't done too much with text, so it's kind of throwing it at you. But here's the space bar, just trying to increase this. So I'm going to go right into the window for the font size and increase this piece. I drop this down, and now I see I have the fill and the stroke. I'm just going to swap them so that I can see it just a little bit more. And it kind of raises itself up there. So I'm getting pretty close, almost to the size that he has right there. Okay, and he's got the letters together. Well, in this character palette, and also up at the top, there's an item. When you leave the mouse over all these icons, it tells you what it is, and this one is the tracking. And what that does is it puts the space between the letters at a positive or negative. So I'm just going to click in here. I have the arrow held down, and it's getting smaller and smaller, minus 60, 70, and just kind of, just where it touches it, see what it looks like, just overlap it a little bit. Okay, I can see it even more to where that is. And then I'm just going to switch the color back to fill and stroke. So that's pretty accurate. It's not exactly what is on the layout. Okay, so I'm going to Option and duplicate that just to set a copy up at the top of it. So that's the possibility, and this is what the design is. So I'm trying to look at both options. One is for what the design is, and one is to using the letter form. So why this text is still editable, you can't really manipulate it too much, but you can see that he has the P a little bit smaller, and the Z is a little bit more at an angle. So what I'm going to do is under Type, while it's still selected, you have these options to create outlines, and these outlines now make the type editable, where you can grab the shapes themselves, move that guy up a little bit, and And you can see that these points, if I fill this with the color, are able to be moved around a little bit. So even the letter P, this shape that you see, just make sure I have that logo locked in there. So as I grab this section, I think I might have inadvertently, I did, I drew it right on there. That's one thing you have to be careful of too, is that you're drawing this on there. So here I'm going to lock this selection, this by accident. Let's see if I can't take all these guys out of here. So I'll cut these, and go back to this layer at the top, and just go to Edit, Paste in Place, puts them exactly where you just left them. So, for example, if I color all of them, you can kind of see what they are. That's the direct selection tool we'll take. And on the letter P, I'll just give it a different color. So you can kind of see that these are the options that you have. This space that's on the letter P is an actual shape that's connected. These are grouped together. So I ungroup them. Now I have just this letter P. And I'm going to Option and copy it over to the side, just so I have a copy of it, and click back. And this is a new thing too. Object is a compound path. So I'm going to release them. So now they're actually two separate shapes. And leave that guy up there. And now I select these and take the fill off just for starters. So you can see it has a this letter right here. I'm just going to make this a little bit smaller. So selecting this, using the Shift key to make it smaller, move it over a little bit, and grab this handle and bring it out. So now it's a little bit closer to what he has on his graphic. This part of the letter I'm going to try to adjust. So I need to select this part, hold the Shift key down to select this, and see whether or not I can bump this over a little bit. Make sure I have all these parts highlighted here. So you be careful. There's another tool within here that lets you go around and select all of these pieces and use the arrow key to bump them over. To get the vertical line, I'm using the arrow key on the screen. And now trying to adjust this so I can select, let's see if I select this group. This might be a little trickier. So I'm trying to get that up to that size there. You can see it's kind of changing the shape of it a little bit. We can modify that as we go. Tightening this up a little. And within the pen tool, if you remember, I'm going to close this, but if I go into the pen tool and get to this section here, am I on your screen there? Not working, as I thought. Try to take that point out. I think I'm off your screen for a second. Take the direct selection tool here and just grab these handles. So these two handles work independently. Take this convert tool, click off of it. And it lets me to grab these 2 points right here with the Shift key held down. And that gives me that section right there. Okay. I'll come back onto your screen in a second here. But here's this piece for this guy right there. And now I have it. So I can select these two items, group them together. Select this letter P. You can see it's the whole taken out. And pop that through. So here again, you're using the Pathfinder to punch that through there. And here I can take, if I want to adjust these, I can adjust this down, but I like the thickness of that one altogether. So I'm going to leave that one.